So, what's your Bitcoin exit strategy for 2021 when the inevitable crypto market crash happens? We all know what goes up, especially what goes up rapidly, does need to come back down. And it's not uncommon that we see somewhere between a 50 and 70% market correction after Bitcoin peaks out in a bull run. So we've asked this top YouTuber his exit strategy for this coming year, and you'll be surprised at what he shares. How do you develop a strategy for when you start moving your Bitcoin into other things so that when the market does turn around, you're not, hodling to the level of damaging your potential? Damaging isn't the right word, but limiting your potential for your overall growth and wealth.
So what I for sure do is that when Bitcoin is forming a topping pattern and we are breaking certain support, I'm definitely hedging some of my Bitcoin portfolio back in stable coins, or I'm shorting with a leverage. Both of these hedging strategies I'm applying to protect myself for downside risk. Then another strategy what I have, of course, in the bull market is swing trading altcoins. And the exit strategy for really taking profits on Bitcoin is taking more and more profits as much Bitcoin is getting more and more overheated. So the more Bitcoin is getting overheated, when we have a look at certain indicators, the more profits I would take. But there would always be a certain amount of Bitcoin I would never sell, and always would just hold. And we're actually with no intention to sell anytime in the next few years.
And I love that your exit strategy is so similar to ours, that you're creating an intentional community around consciousness and attracting in crypto traders. I know you're doing in Bali something very similar to what we're doing here in Costa Rica and Vista Mundo. That's neat because, land is also a diminishing asset on this planet, and a great investment. So as Bitcoin peaks out, it's not a bad idea to shift some of your investments from Bitcoin into other scarce assets. And developing an intentional community is a really great way to do that. So I just want to honor and acknowledge that I know that's in your plans to continue with that project. Yeah. Let's talk topping pattern. How do we recognize the topping pattern, Jeroen?
That is a good question. We can have a look at the chart. I can share my screen. Let's do that.
You've got screen share there.
Yeah. Let me get rid of the nice Mercury retrograding periods. So, for example, when we have a look at the top right here in 2017, this is actually a typical topping pattern. Bitcoin is in an uptrend. We see an acceleration to the upside, like an acceleration last move. We are seeing a top most of the time that comes along with a bearish divergence, which we are seeing right here as well, which could indicate a potential trend reversal. And afterwards, we are getting we call it a blow off top, so that we are seeing a huge sell-off coming along with extraordinary amounts of volume. So let me bring out the volume right here. There's the volume. Then we can see which chart is this. This is the Bitstamp chart. Okay, so you can see that right here we are seeing increased amounts of volume. I'm sure when we have a look at the Coinbase chart, we will see more volume over there. So right here we can see that we peaked around. Oh wait, let me have a look. So if we zoom out right here, then you can see that the volume in the bull market is building up till a certain peak. Right here we have a record amount of volume, and afterwards it's declining again. Normally when you are seeing the volume hitting a all-time high, or at least a local high right here, then it indicates a top or a bottom. Well, in this case, it definitely indicates the top right here. Then let's go back to the Bitstamp chart for the pattern. I just wanted to show the volume because I think Bitstamp has less volume right here. But yeah, we have a bearish divergence indicating a potential trend reversal. And then one of the most important things, which could be a moment to take profits, is when the price is coming back up to the 61.80% or the 78.60% Fibonacci retracement level. And one of the interesting things right here is normally when you see this bounce and it breaks above a certain level, that can be a bullish sign as well, showing us that we might be continuing this uptrend. I think the majority of the people were expecting Bitcoin right here to continue this uptrend, surpass $20,000 right here. And I think that's always the point you want to be very carefully, because right here, this bounce still could be a retracement from the drop we have already seen. So that's why I think the 78.60% and the 61.80% are the most important levels. If we break above that, that's fine. But these levels need to flip into support as well. The moment the price is turning above the 61.80% and breaks below it, this would be a moment for me to open a short or hedge Bitcoin into stable coins. Right here. Could also be that the price comes up above the 78.60% and afterwards roll over. Then this would be a moment I would start hedging and start opening short positions because of a potential topping formation. And then we are already quite far in the pattern. And this is a pattern we are seeing quite often with Bitcoin. If we go to the more recent price action, we can have a look at that as well. Let me get rid of the nice drawings.
That's a question there, because I think that was gold, what you just said there. So are you saying that you've got your funds in Bybit or Femex in Bitcoin, and when you see that we're going to be topping out and coming down, you might not short, you might just go over into stable coins, take some of your portfolio, put it into stable coins so you can buy back in when it comes down into the big dip?
Exactly, yeah,
Wow.
exactly. The thing is, when you trade with leverage, you always have you have a liquidation price, you have funding which needs to be paid, right? So both strategies actually carry a risk, because if you have a lot of funds on the exchange, it also carries a risk, right? Exchanges can be hacked, things can happen. But I usually, when I really think we are seeing a topping formation, potential top formation, I also like to trade on the spot market and take a big chunk of my Bitcoin allocation and exchange it to stable coins to buy back Bitcoin at a later stage. To just simply trade these moves as well. So when we have a look at the topping pattern right here in 2019, we are seeing something similar. So right here, if we have a look at the volume, we can see that the volume also come to a peak right here, afterwards declining. So the volume already indicates, okay, most likely this is a top. We have seen a blow off top, so a huge sell off. That is where you have to control your emotions a little bit, right? Because you price is dumping, but then comes the bounce. And then let's have a look with the Fibonacci retracement tool. This bounce comes up to the 78.60%, above the 61.80%. It doesn't hold this level, right? So this could be a moment, the moment the price breaks back below the 78.60%, could be a moment to take profits or to start shorting, or when we break below the 61.80%. And this is actually quite a safe strategy in my opinion, because even though the price would go below and trade back above it, which is a small opportunity, right? But if that would be the case, you can always take some small losses, but at least you protected yourself against a top in the price, right? So a top in the chart. So I think the risk to reward on such patterns are actually quite nice.
Brilliant. Thank you. That was just a really well thought out analysis of recognizing a topping pattern and how to trade it. It's beautiful.
That is also an awesome strategy. I'm going to be writing that down and sharing that with my crypto ninjas, because you can, in Femex, you can spot trade your Bitcoin that you are using in leverage trading easy enough, right? You just transfer it out of your contract trading account and stick it into spot, and you can just buy USDT. I think in Bybit. We'll have some links for you below on all of those, because that was gold. Like, I'm still pretty stunned. I'm like, wow, how come I hadn't thought of that? Because I have a spot trading account for Bitcoin and a leverage trading account, and I don't mingle them. But sometimes you're waiting days or weeks for the price of Bitcoin to go up and you're not confident to short. So that's bloody brilliant.
Yeah. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a blue thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and select all so you'll receive notifications when we upload new videos. Thank you to those of you who've made donations to our channel. All donations received go to support infrastructure projects we do here in our conscious community in Costa Rica. They help provide additional jobs and wonderful infrastructure that helps bring in more tourists to this region. So your contributions do make a really big difference to the people in this area. We also run an advanced mastermind group of volunteers who help us research different scenarios for the price action of Bitcoin. We meet weekly. We discuss things that we might want to dive back into the charts and research, and we help each other and discuss those scenarios. In future, we will be playing additional videos on scenarios that can affect the price of Bitcoin, and many of the things that that mastermind comes up with will become videos on this channel. So if you would like to join that mastermind, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to have more people involved. The more people there are, the less work it is for any one of us, and the more solid all of our trading becomes. Thanks for watching Conscious Crypto, and until next time, trade consciously.